welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a first impressions video. I have a bunch of new makeup. A lot of the products that I'm going to be using in this video are things that I've already hauled. I only had one pretty major fail in this video, but everything else was pretty good. The only things that aren't new would be my brows, my bronzer, and my concealer. So I don't have new products for that, but everything else I have pretty much a full face of first impressions for you guys. I do try out the new L'Oreal foundation. I try out a bunch of Tjmaxx products. I have a mix of different brands. I have a ton of brushes that I try out for you guys, and even a new sponge. So if you guys want to see what I use to create this look, then just go ahead and keep on watching. The primer that I'm going to use is this one right here from Tjmaxx, and it's the AOA Studio Wonder Skin Color Correcting Primer. I'm really excited to try this out. So it's kind of already coming out, like if it already exploded in there a little bit. I don't know if you guys can even see that, but the cap is like all covered. Well, let's just put that on my face. I have a lot of redness going on today. I actually tried out a new mask yesterday and I completely broke out all over my face. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, then you guys saw because I shared it on my stories. I'm gonna go ahead and just blend it into the skin and then tap it. It feels really smooth and it doesn't really, no, it doesn't have a smell. At least I can't smell anything. So on the back it says how to use. I probably should have read this before I started, but that's okay. Apply a sheer layer to the face or problem areas before you start your makeup routine. Blend with your fingertips. So just what I did. I actually do feel like my face looks a little bit more even. Hopefully you guys will be able to see it on camera because I feel like I was a lot more red and now I feel like my face is kind of a little bit more even, a little more toned down. My nose is still super red, but everywhere else looks pretty good to me. For foundation, I'm going to be using this one right here from L'Oreal. This is the Infallible foundation. I got mine in the shade 420, so I hope that I matched myself pretty good. I bought it online, so I'm hoping it matches. I have heard nothing but amazing things about this foundation, so I'm super excited to try it out. If you guys are newer to my channel, I do have dry sensitive skin. And then the sponge that I'm going to be using to blend it out is this one right here from Tjmaxx, and this is the A+ Wonder Blender Mochi Soft. It's like a cute little pink mauve sponge. It has a little flat side, so I'm gonna go wet this really quickly and then I will go ahead and apply my foundation. I totally spaced out. I have some new brushes that I want to test out. So on one side of my face I'm going to use this foundation brush. This one is also from Tjmaxx and it's the AOA Studio High Def Brush F4. And here is my sponge. It did get bigger. It feels really soft. So I went ahead and peeled the little sticker on the back of the foundation, and it says that it is a natural finish. It will wear up to 24 hours, medium coverage, and it's air light. Hopefully that is true. I really like the packaging of this. Let's go ahead and pump some. Oh, so it's a little bit liquidy. Not too thick, not too runny, but it is a little bit more on the runny side. I'm gonna go ahead and quickly just spray my foundation brush. I like to do 2 or 3 sprays before I apply my foundation. So I'm just going in with the brush right now. And let's do this side with the brush. Oh, I like the color. This is gonna be good. My ears are all red, so let's cover that up a little bit. This brush is really nice. It's dense, but it's also really soft. It seems to be blending the foundation out really nice. This is the foundation side with the brush, and then no foundation. So now I'm going to go in with my sponge, bounce it in there. I do feel like I'm getting a little bit less coverage with the sponge. On camera, I swear, I feel like I look like a freaking ghost. In person, it's not that light. I feel like the sponge is absorbing quite a bit of my product. I'm actually going to pop off my earrings. I should not have put these on until I was done. So I'm just going to go on top of my ears. And now we have this side with a sponge. And then once again, this side with a brush. It feels really lightweight. It doesn't feel cakey or anything, and it doesn't look cakey at all. I'm going to do a second layer. And I actually prefer the side with the brush. So I'm just gonna go in on my cheeks, my forehead, nose, and chin, and add a little bit more. Yeah, see, with the brush you get more coverage. If you use a foundation brush, you're going to get that medium coverage, and it's really nice too. It's almost full coverage. I'm just gonna go back in with a sponge. I just like the way my foundation looks when I do this afterwards. Like, I do this with every single foundation. So one last time, this is what the foundation is looking like. I think it looks pretty good. I do have a ton of texture from the rash that I broke out in yesterday. Like, I still have a lot of texture, but I actually feel like it looks pretty good. I don't think it's emphasizing it too much. I don't think it's really settling severely into my smile lines. That's definitely a problem I have with almost every single foundation, but it's not bad at all. So far, I really like the primer and the foundation. I don't have a new concealer, so I'm just gonna quickly go in with my Milani concealer. I do have a new concealer brush that I'm going to be using. So this is the Tjmaxx AOA Studio High Def Brush E104. And I'm just going to use that to blend out my concealer. And then I'll go in with the sponge after. I don't normally use brushes to blend out my concealer unless it's like a tube concealer, but I just wanted to test this one out. Alright, I'm going to go in with a sponge just to evenly blend everything out. The powder that I'm going to use today is from Marc Jacobs. I got one of the little mini travel size ones, and this is the 34 Invisible Finish Line Perfecting Coconut Setting Powder. I do remember using like a little tiny Sephora sample a couple months ago, and I talked about it in my trash talk video, and I just didn't really remember how this powder was, so I'm gonna be trying it out again today. Powder everywhere. So it has like a little net in there, and I'm just gonna go in with the sponge and like pick up some product. I feel like it's actually a little tinted. Yeah, it made my under eyes a darker color. So I'm just gonna go ahead and finish the rest of my face really quick, and I'm gonna go in with a different powder. Now that I look powdery, I'm gonna just go in with my spray, and this is just the Fresh Cactus Hydrating Spray. So I don't like that Marc Jacobs powder as much as I remember liking it. I will update you guys if I try it again, but right now it's not my favorite because it left my under eyes so much darker. For bronzer, I don't have a new one, but I want to go in with this Cover FX palette. It's called the Perfector Face Palette, and it has a really pretty contour slash bronzer shade in there. I'm going to use this Japonesque brush. This is the angled brush. I got it from Tjmaxx for $4.99. It's just a really fluffy angled brush. I've been really loving this palette. But I'm only going to use the contour shade in here because I'm going to use a different blush and highlight. This brush is really soft. I really like it. And I like angled brushes for my contour and my bronzer just because I find that they're just super easy to work with. And now I'm going to take this AOA Studio F13 brush. It's kind of like a powder brush or blush brush, but I'm just going to go in and deepen it up a little bit right here, kind of like my contour. This is really nice. Both of these brushes are really nice. And now I'm just going to bake underneath of my contour. I'm just taking my Pretty Vulgar powder. For blush, I'm going to take this one right here from Tjmaxx. It's the AOA Studio Lumi Radiant Blush in the shade Ravish. It's a little bit powdery, but it looks pretty pigmented. I'm using the AOA Studio F14 brush, and it's just an angled brush. Wow, that is very pigmented. Oh, it's really glowy. It's like a shimmery blush. And now I'm going to take the AOA Studio, what was it? F13 brush just to blend it in a little bit better with the bronzer. And then I'm also going to wipe away my powder. I'm going to go ahead and move on to my eyeshadow, and I'm going to use these two palettes. I'm not really sure what kind of look I'm going to create, but these palettes are from JCat Beauty. This one right here is the Red Carpet Premiere palette, and then this is the other one right here. This is the Pops of Paparazzi palette. I think these were pretty affordable. So here's another quick little view of the palettes. I think I'm going to do something pretty simple. I just want to test out the shadows. There's no shade names on the actual palette, but on the back of the packaging there's names, which I kind of wish they would have just put the names on the back. I'm going to take the Red Carpet Premiere palette, and I'm just going to dip down here into this shade right here so that I can use that as my transition shade. And I'm going to take the Morphe M505 brush. This is also a new brush to me, so I'm going to see how this works. Oh wow. Holy cow, that's super pigmented. And it's a lot deeper on the eyes than in the pan, because this color right here, it just looks like a really light, pretty beigey type of color. It's just a really pretty transition shade, but it's a lot deeper, which I'm not mad at. I really like the color, but it's definitely way deeper. Like, it straight up looks brown. This Morphe brush is pretty soft. It's a tiny bit scratchy. Nothing that would make me not want to use it again. It kind of reminds me a little bit of some of the white-haired brushes that I have. I'm gonna blend it out with this brush, the Luxie 209 large shader brush. And then I'm gonna go ahead and dip into the Pops of Paparazzi palette, and I'm gonna take this shimmery, like, gold color. I'm gonna put it all over my lid. Wow. That is intense. You guys, do you see that? It just looks super foiled and metallic. I'm gonna go back into that same shade with the Luxie 245 small shader brush. I'm gonna go back to the Red Carpet Premiere, and I'm gonna go into the shade I used for my transition, and I'm gonna buff it out on the lower lash line. In the Red Carpet Premiere, they have a matte kind of like brow bone shade. I feel like this would be nice to just brighten it up a little bit. There's this one right here in the middle, but I feel like that's too frosty, but let's try it out. Alright, so that's all I'm gonna do on my eyes right now. I'm gonna do my brows off camera really quickly. Alright guys, I'm back with my brows. They look a little rough. I could not get them to look even, so that's just what I'm working with today. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this brow gel. This is also from Japonesque. I know I have a lot of Japonesque stuff, but I recently did a haul. If you guys watched that video, you guys saw I picked up quite a few things. And this is the AOA Studio Go Brow Fiber Gel, and I got the shade medium brown. Let me just apply. Ooh, that's nice. The formula is actually a little bit drier than I'm used to, but it's applying really nice. I do feel like I have something on my brows, like I'm looking at them. I don't know if you can see on camera, but they just look like they're slick. I do like the shade for my hair color, like my roots. I mean, obviously my hair is already super grown out, but I feel like it matches my natural hair really nicely. And now I'm gonna go ahead and go in with this highlighter from Maybelline. This is the Puma collaboration, and it's in the shade 08 Knockout. I'm going to use this Luxie brush. This is the 512 small contouring, but it's a little bit fluffy, so I'm going to just go ahead and use it to highlight. Ooh, on my brush it looks pink. Let's see how it applies. Oh, it's pretty. It's like a really pretty gold color. I'm going to use my finger to put it in the inner corner. It's almost like a duochrome gold with pink. And now I'm just blending my highlighter with my blush. For the lips, I'm going to go in with this L'Oreal liquid lipstick, and this is, what is this called? I always forget what it's called. Lip Color Rouge. This is the shade Explore. I did already use the shade Empower, but I haven't tried this one out, so I'm going to go ahead and try this out with you guys. These literally feel like I'm applying water. I'm not going to be applying falsies today just because my eyes are actually a little bit irritated right now. So I'm just going to go in with mascara, and then I'll be right back to apply some lip gloss, and then I will give you guys a rundown on my final thoughts of everything. Alright, I'm back. I applied my mascara. I do have a new lip gloss from Essence, and this is the Shine 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 Wet Look Lip Gloss. It is just a clear gloss, but I want to test out the formula. Ooh, that is super glossy. Wow. That's nice. And it smells good too. That is so nice. I layered another highlighter for my inner corner really quickly. I didn't feel like it was bright enough, so I just went in with the Cover FX palette, and then I used the shade Brightening right here. But this is the completed look, you guys. I know it's not a makeup tutorial, but what do you guys think? I like how it turned out. Let me go ahead and do a quick rundown. I do feel like this was a pretty successful first impressions. All of the brushes that I used today, I really love. My favorite is definitely this one right here from Japonesque, and also the Japonesque brush, the AOA Studio High Def brush F4. So these two are my favorites. I really did like all the other ones, but these are the two that kind of stood out to me the most. I really enjoyed the primer. I think it's really nice, and for once I actually like a green color correcting primer. This is one I'm going to continue to use, especially when I'm super red. I would say definitely give this one a try, you guys, especially for $1. You can't really beat that. The liquid lipstick, I already know that I like the formula and I just wanted to test out the color. I think it's so beautiful and I really like the undertone. It has like the perfect amount of warmth to it. The foundation, this is actually nice, you guys. I still really like it. The way that everything applied on my skin, like I'm looking at it, it still doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel cakey. It doesn't emphasize a lot of my texture. It doesn't emphasize my smile lines too much. It applied really nicely with the brush and the sponge, and like I mentioned earlier, I do prefer a brush with this foundation. I'm gonna wear it for the rest of the day and I'll update you guys down below. The gloss, you guys, I mean, look at these lips. They're so juicy. Like, you guys, this is nice, and I think it was like $3. The highlighter was really nice too, you guys. If you guys can see it, it's really pretty. The only thing I kind of don't like is the pink shift. I feel like I can't just wear it with any look, and I do like the formula of this highlighter. I have another one of their highlighters and I really like that one. Next I want to talk about the blush. So I like the color. I think it's really pretty. It gave like a really nice wash of color. It is pretty pigmented, so I would say be very careful, and it's a little bit powdery, but the color is really nice. So far I do like it. It is more on the shimmery side, kind of like glowy. The Marc Jacobs powder. So I think this is the only thing that was really a big fail for me. I could have sworn I really liked this powder when I tested it out a couple months ago, but I just did not like that it made my under eyes darker. The eyeshadow palettes are really nice, you guys. They're very pigmented. The color that's on my lid is insanely beautiful. They blended out really nicely, and even though I only used a couple shades, I can tell that I'm really gonna like both of these, and I will definitely update you guys in a future video or maybe on Instagram once I use some more of the shades, but right now I definitely think these are totally worth it. The brow gel, you guys, this is pretty nice. Like I mentioned earlier, it's on the drier side. It's not as liquidy. It's not really a wet formula, but it's not bad at all. I can see myself definitely using it again. My eyebrows don't feel crunchy. I'm touching them right now. They just feel like if they're slick back. If you don't like the feeling like you have something on your brows, maybe skip it, because I can like kind of feel like I have something on my brows, but it doesn't bother me. Like, they don't feel gross. It doesn't bother me, but just in case you're somebody who's a little too sensitive when you have stuff in your brows and you can feel it, just kind of pass on it. And I think the last thing that I have to talk about is the sponge, you guys. This is actually really nice. It did absorb quite a bit of my foundation, but that's pretty typical with most sponges anyways. This is really, really soft, you guys. I am gonna update you down below how it cleans, because I'm gonna wash it right after this. It blended everything out really nicely. So that is everything, you guys. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you guys have any questions about any of the products, then just leave it down below. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.